This review was made possible by contributions from viewers like you.
Hey guys, I'm here to warn you about... I'm sorry, just a minute. I wish the snow could die down a bit! Thank you. Anyway, I think I know what might be plaguing the Neverending Story sequels. It's a strange, unseen force that sucks out all intelligence and replaces it with stupid. It is called... the ◞𝓱𝑒𝓷.
Dun dun dun!
While taking notes for today's movie, The Neverending Story 3, there was a certain word that kept popping up. Stupidity. But the more the movie showed its ass, the more the power behind it wanted to show its face. One little typo in one little word was enough to give it away. I'm onto you, ◞𝓱𝑒𝓷. I'm onto you. So yeah, The Neverending Story 3. Sometimes with the subtitle, Return to Fantasia, sometimes with the subtitle, Escape from Fantasia. The copy I have has no such subtitle, which is probably for the best, since Fantasia barely factors into this piece of crap.
What this movie should be called is The Neverending Story 3. Fantasia? Why that?
And while the second movie more or less completes the story of the original book that was only half covered in the first movie, this one is a completely original piece. Be very afraid. We open on a river of blood, which I guess is the only logical conclusion that can come from the second movie having an ocean of acid. As we get our opening credits set against some of the cheapest CGI ever. Look at this. They want to point out the names of the individual studios responsible for the special effects, including the Jim Henson Creature Shop of all companies, and this is what's backing them up? Outright insulting. We then meet some old man, who's literally named Old Man, and his job is to... I guess write down what's happening in the Neverending Story?
Now what? Hold your horses! I'm finding out!
Yeah, he's shouting to the forces that be, and that's immediately transcribed into the text of the book. Now what? Now what? Hold your horses, I'm finding out? This isn't a book, it's the ramblings of a lunatic.
There will be a day when the writing stylus will start to act strangely. This is a sign that the nasty is on the way.
The nasty. We had the nothing, then the emptiness, and now we have the nasty.
That's it. Abandoned movie. We've already run off the rails. Throw the whole thing out.
You know, it's easy to recognize the threat of something like the nothing or the emptiness, both of which prey on imagination. But honestly, the nasty sounds like the force that turns otherwise good characters into villains. Ebenezer Scrooge started out as a normal, well-adjusted little kid, and sure, the events of his life weren't exactly ideal, but while other characters like Bob Cratchit and Scrooge's nephew Fred dealt with their hardships in a more positive fashion, it could have been the nasty that twisted Scrooge into the curmudgeon that we all know and loathe. And let's be honest here, the Ghosts of Christmas trying to redeem someone who's good wouldn't make for a very interesting story.
You're obviously such a good chap there'll be no need for any of that nonsense. So I'll just say cheery bye. Cheery bye.
Unlike these other forces that seek to destroy imagination, the nasty should only enhance it. Spoiler alert, the nasty as I just described it is not the force that turns good characters into villains. Or maybe it is, and the movie just does a shitty job of conveying that point. It's impossible to know for sure.
To stop the nasty, even temporarily, would require a special young human, a voracious reader of great imagination and extraordinary courage.
Well, it looks like there's no room for Bastion in this story then.
Neverending story.
No, unfortunately, and still just as bafflingly, the unimaginative Bastion is once again called upon to be our hero, and he's once again running away from a bunch of bullies at his new school. Even if he doesn't have a luck dragon to back him up, shouldn't he know how to deal with bullies at this point? Or did he find courage in the previous movie just so he could lose it again for this one? In a multiverse where every pantheon is real, the status quo is, of course, the one true god.
Wait a minute. Who's that lead bully chasing Bastion? He looks so familiar, but I can't place him.
I suppose you wouldn't recognize him this early in his career. That's Jack Black.
What? Oh, no. That is not Jack Black. Mm-mm.
Oh, yes it is.
Well, I didn't think this movie could disappoint me since my expectations were already very low, but sure, drag down one of my favorite actors while you're at it.
Bastion gets away from the bullies in the library, where he meets Mr. Coriander, the bookstore owner.
Hang on, that's supposed to be Mr. Coriander? What happened to him?
Yeah, it looked like the emptiness just swallowed him up in the previous movie, but he's back. He's now a high school librarian instead of running his own bookstore, and he looks completely different. Oh my god, it's Zaida! She's back and she's trying to lure Bastion back in with, familiar face?
Mr. Coriander, don't you remember me? Bastion Balthazar Bucks.
Bastion?
Why do you look like someone different every time we meet? Actually, on the topic of these characters looking different from how they looked before, this is some really weird casting here. Call me crazy, but the old man reading the book looks an awful lot like Bastion to me. It almost looks like Bastion really is supposed to be the savior of imagination, so much so that he actually exists in both realities, one where he's dreaming and wishing, and one where he's writing his own dreams and wishes into reality. It gets even weirder when you find out that this actor playing the old man is also playing Coriander. So, what, young Bastion is talking to his older self from another world, but he's also in this world and running a bookstore and library where he spends all of his time not encouraging children to read and...
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
Bastion? What in the world happened to you?
It's sort of hard to explain.
Wow. He is so devoid of imagination that he thinks saying, "I'm having a bad hair day," is too hard to explain.
Well, why so far from home? Not playing hooky from school, are we?
Yes, all kids play hooky from school at completely different schools.
We moved. This is my new school, unfortunately.
So I guess when Coriander just blinked out of existence, he was actually moving away to a completely different town, and then Bastion just happened to move to that exact same town?
How convenient.
After taking a very casual peek around this library, of course he comes upon a very familiar book.
The Neverending Story.
Huh. I guess books can and do change. So much so to the point of being completely unrecognizable. I mean, fine, I understand characters looking different if they're recast with different actors between movies. I don't like it, but I understand it. What is the point of making the book of the Neverending Story look so drastically different from what we've seen in 2 movies already? Even if the original prop was unavailable, was it not in the budget to make a new one? This book just looks like crap.
That is strictly a reference book from now on, and must not be taken from the library under any circumstances.
And what is it even doing here? You know how dangerous it is, and you know that this little schmuck's gonna take it right out from under your nose.
It keeps going.
It just keeps... Never-ending story! Come on!
And if you want to show how the book just keeps going, show him flipping the last page over and finding a new last page that wasn't there before.
Or just continue skimming through the middle of the book. That makes sense.
It keeps going.
Well, of course it keeps going. Every move you make is part of your story. Remember that the next time you pick your nose.
Little known fact, The Lord of the Rings actually pauses the quest every time that someone has to take a bathroom break. Each one lasting about 3 chapters. Bastion opens the book and starts reading, the story of how his dad recently got remarried. We could have just shown this at the beginning of the movie like a proper prologue, but sure, waste our time by having Bastian read it to us, that's fine.
Jane's house was more suited for a family of 4, which for Bastian meant a new room, a new neighborhood, and worst of all, a new school.
Yeah, it does suck having to move away and leave all your friends behind. Luckily, Bastian has no friends. He just misses the Vancouver architecture.
And he mentions a new home, new neighborhood, new school. Not gonna say anything about the new face of the new dad?
Bastian's new stepsister Nicole isn't too happy about their new situation either.
You gotta meet him halfway. Why bother? You'll only get divorced again.
You'll only get divorced again? No kid's gonna say that if their mother just divorced their father. What, does mom have a series of failed marriages under her belt? Dump one and she's got a line of never-ending boyfriends ready to pick up where the last one left off?
Never-ending boyfriends. Mom's a slut, mom's a slut, mom's a slut. Why does Bastian have a football? And a random copy of Star Fox?
And hockey pads?
Bastian's not wearing hockey pads!
But since Bastian has always wanted a brother or sister, he's trying his hardest to win her over.
You can have one if you want. I got plenty of them.
What for? Crystals are so stupid. Like a crystal can really grant a wish or something?
Crystals aren't supposed to grant wishes. Only the Orin can do that. The Orin is a necklace of the childlike empress, the ruler of all Fantasia. The Neverending Story.
And I'm listening to you like this is real.
More inexplicably, Bastian thinks you want to listen to this. Read the room, kid.
So, you two getting into trouble yet?
No, they aren't, nor should they ever. Weirdo.
I wish I still saw you. Then I would be with you.
Great. These filmmakers realized that it wouldn't make much sense for Bastian to still be crying about... But rather than explore how he might have matured past that point, maybe even show a stronger, healthier relationship with his father after what they've both been through with the Neverending Story, we get this new stepsister whining about daddy leaving her. Progress! Now that everyone's moved in, time to carry on with their first day as a family.
You look handsome.
Sorry, forgot the opposite of hideous for a moment there.
I would have preferred the second movie, Dad.
Downstairs, look alive! Let's go! Yee-haw!
Barney.
Barney. His name is Barney Bucks.
Sounds like currency you use at a kid's pizza restaurant.
I've been doing it since he was 3.
Oh yeah, I can so see Gerald McRaney doing that.
I'll be pulling the car out of the garage. You know, when you're ready.
Oh dear. Barney married this woman just for the fact that she's a complete pushover.
You are not going to school like that.
Like what?
That is so uncool, unsophisticated, unhappening. Just
Aw, bless this movie's heart, it's trying to make up a new catchphrase.
Fun. I'll show you mine.
Then he proceeds to make his hair look like this. I honestly have no idea if the point was to look cool instead of or if he thinks looking is a good thing.
Don't worry, you look perfectly impressive. Really.
Demonstrating some kind of common sense, Bastian immediately regrets this decision and tries to look for the men's room to wash his hair, when...
Oh my god! Get out of here! Oh, come on!
Why? Who are they?
the nasties.
Nasties.
Yep, because when a bunch of bullies come down the hall, you start hearing Crash Bandicoot music.
Could they hear the music? Looks like that's what tipped them off to the Nasty's arrival.
And yeah, This is what I was talking about in regard to the nasty earlier. The book talks about it like it's the nothing, but in the real world, it's just a bunch of bullies who happen to call themselves the Nasties. And I have no idea if one is influencing the other or if it's just a stupid coincidence.
It's the Stupid-Duty!
Tremble in fear at the wrath of the Stupid-Duty? Or maybe just the unfortunate goings-on of the Stupid-Duty, maybe? The tiny little hint of Bastion's intelligence is undone as he asks this really stupid question.
Can you guys show me where the men's room is?
Maybe we've been wrong about Bastion this whole time and he's just a little masochist who enjoys getting picked on by bullies.
And what is up with this guy in the back? It's bad enough that these bullies are clearly in their 20s, but this guy looks like he was done up to be in his 40s.
Worse yet, IMDb lists this character as Nasty Number 2. Man, and I thought that teeny weenie had it bad.
So, you got a name?
Bastion Balthazar Bucks.
Balthazar?
Sorry, but that name makes me want to beat him up.
I'm not gonna stop you.
What kind of name's that? You a Viking or something?
Oh wait, I said Viking instead of Viking. Can we do that again? Keep going! I looked up this movie's transcript because I couldn't quite make out what this girl said, and I figured the easiest way to find her line would be to look for it after Bastion introduces himself as Bastion Balthazar Bucks. It turns out that the name Balthazar is said 17 times, most of which are said by the Nasties in a mocking fashion. You'd think that by middle school, Bastion would learn to keep his bully-triggering name to himself. They get caught by this janitor, they're threatened with expulsion, and they somehow care enough about this to be angry at Bastion about it when you'd think they would love it, and they start chasing him. Oh no, the movie's starting over! It's the forever starting story!
Story really is still happening.
Yes! The Neverending Story is still going! Because it's the Neverending Story! You know this! Idiot! Look at this. Bastion starts to leave as the bell rings. One of the Nasties finds him, and starts banging on the locked door instead of going through the unlocked door that Bastion clearly opens himself!
The previous movie was looking for ways to be stupid, but the Stupid-Duty is inventing ways to be stupid.
But he exploits their inability to open doors by blocking them with some very easily movable book racks. And sorry, but you're not selling me on this intense moment with the music sounding like it came from Gumby.
Oh, take back Fantasia! Come on, hurry up!
Why do books take so long to boot up? God!
It's my story, and I say I return to Fantasia to escape the Nasties!
Apparently Bastion got a better grasp on traveling between worlds just by yelling at the book. Go figure. Then we meet those two gnomes who patched up Atreyu in the first movie.
Don't bother me now, wench. Can't you see I'm observing the night sky? Same as yesterday and the day before that.
But we're Irish now, that's interesting.
And I guess the night sky would look the same as from last night and the night before, because you're looking at a poster!
The forces of Fantasia think it would be funny for Bastion to poof back into reality right above their house, just so we can stomp into it.
It serves you right for sticking your foot in other people's potions!
Ingiwalk?
Welcome back, my boy.
Sorry I wrecked your house.
Don't be sorry, wish it back to normal!
Here we go again.
And when we first met these gnomes, they lived up on top of a mountain so they could get a good view of the night sky. Why are they in the woods? Back in the real world, the Nasties are still looking for Bastion in the library. It's not that big. How many places can they possibly look before realizing that he isn't there? And where did Coriander go?
He's hiding too, watching and giggling to himself as Jack Black finds the book.
Yeah, somehow this random book grabs Jack Black's attention, and he can't help but notice that what's written inside sounds a little familiar.
In order to escape the Nasties, Bastion rushed inside the nearest door at the school library.
The Nasties? That's us!
Safe at last, among his tiny little friends, Bastion settled in front of the patched-up gnome hovel, chewing on the last tiny morsels of a gnome-cooked meal.
Honestly, I'm just amazed that he can read words like morsel and gnome.
Now, how can something that's happening right now be in this book? It ain't possible! Slip, the leader of the Nasties, exclaimed to the others, "How can something that's happening right now be in this book?" Yo, I just said that.
Jack Black very quickly figures out that they can control what happens in the book, and they decide to make things nasty by jumping on furniture and tossing books around? What? Why not just say, and then Fantasia was set upon by fireballs raining from the sky?
What is this? They said it was going to be sunny today. I think I'll take a rain check here. Whoa.
And what, this tree thing is Al Pacino?
Oh, I'm a tree. Oh, yeah.
By some miracle, Bastion deduces that this is all the Nasties' handiwork, so they have to go back to stop them. And par for the course, Bastion thinks that the only way back is with the book. Dumbass.
There is one other means of interworld transportation, the Orin.
The Empress has the Orin in the ivory tower.
No, the Orin is still on the cover of the book. Then by sheer luck, since asking Bastion to wish for things to happen is too much trouble, Falkor shows up.
Falkor!
Bastion? Is that you?
Falkor, land!
Land? I can't land down there. I need a runway.
Oh my god, the stupid dude, he got to Falkor!
Things will work out fine, Atreyu. Never give up, and good luck will find you.
Don't go to him in anger. Go and warn him. He's your friend, isn't he?
I can't land down there. I need a runway.
It's like someone took all the wisdom and optimism out of Falkor and replaced it with Frosty the Snowman. They turned the Lug Dragon into a f***ed up dragon.
Duh! Duh!
Come on, you can land anywhere. You're a luck dragon.
A luck dragon, huh? If I was a luck dragon, I'd be halfway to Vegas by now.
How do you know what Vegas is?
I really hate this part of the story.
At least that we can agree on.
Seconded.
Oh, yeah, am I still in one piece?
We need a ride to Silver City to see the Empress.
Not with me. I just came from there. Everyone's acting crazy there, too.
What about the Ivory Tower?
Why are we retconning it to be in the Silver City when it wasn't anywhere near it in the last two movies?
And the Empress?
Well, I heard she escaped to the Wandering Mountains.
That's where we need to go.
Oh, wait, that's just what I heard. It could be just a rumor. Oh, this is no weather for mountain flying.
You can fly in space! What the hell is weather to you?
Bastion needs the power of the Orin to get him back to the human world so he can stop this thing before it ruins us all!
I know, right? It's just so terrible that Bastion has no way to get back to the human world. You have a luck dragon, you morons! So they all fly off to get help from the childlike Empress to get back to the real world instead of just flying there with the dimension-hopping luck dragon. Then we see some more of the stupid duty's destruction.
Small and the rockets, my heart out of stone. I'm high like a mountain and I'm
Junior! I said no more rocks before lunch. Now stop!
Did someone see rocks before lunch?
This is just unfathomably horrible. And the absolute worst part about it, it almost makes sense. The pop culture references, Falkor acting and sounding like Patrick from SpongeBob, television in this fantasy setting. You need to remember that right now, the book is in the hands of these kids who have no respect for fantasy, or literature in general, I'd wager. Since we saw them influencing the book just by reading it, it would make sense if they said stupid shit like, and then the Jewish tree monster made a joke about Las Vegas, or the legendary lug dragon turned into a drooling moron. But they're not reading whatever they want into the book, or at least not right now, and the movie will never explain that these guys are the reason that everything is as stupid as it is. It's just stupid because bad filmmaking. And I never imagined what kind of a civilization the Rockbiter people might have, but I promise you, no one imagined them looking like the Flintstones.
Honeykins, would you mind going over to Wandering Mountains and breaking off about a half a ton of limestone for me?
Another little known fact, when a couple has been together for many, many years, eventually they start sounding exactly alike. I did not know that.
Junior, go Bucky! Da-da-da, me come too?
Me sound like a goose de sloop, dada!
That's okay. So does Mom.
And I guess we need to give some credit to the Neverending Story too. Regardless of his hideousness, at least Junior actually looked like a baby. In this movie, just make him an adult and shrink him down, that works.
Get your motor running out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, gonna make it happen. Take the road and the love.
The _ṭupidity.
Fire all of the guns at once and explode into space.
Why is he singing Born to be Wild? He's a rock! He wasn't born to be wild, he was born to do nothing!
In the sake of fairness, I will say this. If a modern song had to be used, why not something like I Love Rock and Roll?
We will rock you.
Rock the Casbah.
Rock you like a hurricane. This isn't hard, people!
And the feeling that I'm under. Gonna make it happen. Take the road and the love of race. Fire all of the guns at once and...
Remember when Atreyu stuck a pointy rock into a wolf, and then the wolf died because he bled out all over him? Yeah, apparently this world is also subject to Looney Tunes physics, and running over small critters won't result in any kind of bodily harm whatsoever.
And where is Atreyu anyway?
I'm pretty sure Bastian just forgot about him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The old man dictating the book gets a very special visitor. The... college student-like Empress? Look at this. She wishes for Bastian to show up, and the childlike Empress is taller than the teenage boy. That's not how you childlike, movie!
The Orin has brought me a hero to save Fantasia.
Excuse me, Your Royal Highness. Bastian's heart is strong, but he's not exactly Arnold Schwarzenegger in the muscle department, is he?
Ignoring the whole Arnold Schwarzenegger thing, physical strength was never a factor in the protection of Fantasia. Why would it be now?
The Orin can provide the transport, but when he gets back to the human world, how's he going to get the book away from these thugs?
I wish I got the book back from these thugs! The old enough to drink now Empress says that Bastian can only use the Orin to get back home, stop the nasty, and bring the book back, and that's it. I think the point of this was to create some kind of dramatic tension, like how I suggested that Bastian should know about the wishing machine right away in Neverending Story 2, but she doesn't explain why Bastian's wishing should be limited to this small handful of tasks, so it's just frustrating.
Here goes.
Oh, Kim!
If you want to travel back to another world, Bastian, you'll have to wish harder than that.
Or wish at all? Just holding the Orin doesn't mean that you're making a wish! For some reason, these other characters have to hold hands with Bastian to make the wish stronger? I don't know. And since the Rockbiters just happen to show up at the exact same time, the baby jumps in and then all of them are taken back to the human world.
But they've all gone.
Ah, there's been a wish overload, you see.
The first movie very plainly says that Fantasia is made of man's hopes and dreams. If you can imagine it, then it becomes real. So much so to the point where you can just wish an entire reality back into existence. If a wish is powerful enough to do all of that, it is impossible for there to be any such thing as a wish overload!
We're safe. You see, we and the others weren't making physical contact. Ah!
And then you start disappearing into the human world because you're making physical contact with, what, a squirrel turd?
No, this must not happen.
Maybe you could have said that before they started shooting!
No, this must not happen.
Stop, don't come back. Hereby wish Neverending Story would leave the nasties and return right here to this.
No, Bastian, stop! Bastian, The Fantasians who helped you got caught in a wish overload and are there with you in the human world. But you must not use the powers of Orin to stop the nasty.
Why not?
Because the new Fantasia that follows will be different. It won't include them.
It's my imagination. I'll just make sure they're in the new Fantasia.
No, Bastian. You must find them. Bring them all together and bring them back to Fantasia before you return the book to the Keeper. Or they will be lost forever.
Oh, come on! The one time he actually uses his imagination to make the right wish, and he's not allowed to make it? Why not?
She's just making this up as she goes.
They will be lost forever. That is the biggest crock of shit this movie has dished out yet. Why? Because we need to remember that the first movie ended with all of Fantasia being destroyed! And everything was restored when Bastian just wished for it to be so! If there's a reason why the Fantasians who poofed away into the real world would be lost as a result of stopping the nasty, okay, fine. But if you can wish them out of absolute oblivion, then there is nothing you can say to convince me that they couldn't just do that again! But yeah, on top of getting the book back for the nasties, now Bastian is tasked with getting everyone back using non-wishing means. Bastian is exactly where he wished to be, or at least I assume this is where he wished to be, since he's not smart enough to wish to be taken to where the nasties are, and he didn't wind up somewhere completely random, like a gas station in the middle of nowhere. And all the Fantasians are scattered to the four winds. Why? Probably because wish overload. God, this is dumb.
Wow! Something tells me I'm not in Fantasia anymore.
Any chance that a house will fall on you? We later find Bastian doing absolutely nothing. I'll give you all a moment to recover from the shock you're all feeling. When Barney Bucks comes in after hearing that he cut his first 3 classes, and apparently stole one of the library's books.
I'm busy right now.
Any, problems with the new school? Making any friends?
I'm fine, okay?
It's just that, sometimes it helps to get things off your chest.
We got a call from the school. They said you skipped your first 3 classes. Anything you want to talk about? They said their copy of the Neverending Story has gone missing. Strange detail to want to share with us. Do you know anything about that?
Dad?
Yeah?
Everything sucks. Okay?
Okay.
Nothing like a heartwarming moment between father and son. By which I mean this was nothing like a heartwarming moment between father and son.
Everything sucks. This movie sucks!
Yeah, you'd think the mention of the Neverending Story might fire some synapses in Barney Bucks' brain, since, he read the magical book that his son was stuck in. But nah, everything's just bouncing off of Barney Bucks' skull.
Come on, you guys, you've got to find me. I could never find you. The world's too big for a kid without a traffer's license.
Okay. Fair enough. The world is a big place, especially for a kid who doesn't have his driver's license. I'll give you that. However, what the hell do they have that makes them finding you an easier task?
My mom and your dad think you have gone bonkers. They're talking about having you committed to a mental institution. Oh well. At least my mom will get her sewing room back.
1. Go back to your room. You're showing way too much interest in this kid you want nothing to do with. 2. You're making it really hard for us to want to sympathize with you and missing your father when you're laying on the awful this thick.
Where'd you get this? The Empress? Why don't you just show us something from this Fantasia place of yours?
I've got a better idea. Why don't you go yourself?
I can't. I wish I could.
But I can't.
I'm too stupid to make wishes on this thing, even after wishing for something by accident.
Have it your way.
Bastian sadly clutched the Orin. Unable to make the one wish that would set things right in Fantasia and allow him to get on with his own life.
Oh my god. Is the movie doing something right? Is Bastian acting stupid because Jack Black is reading him to be stupid?
Whoa, the movie's listening to you.
Then Falcor and Jr. show up, in this little suburban Chinatown district. Typical setting of all small suburban towns, why not? And they're having Chinese New Year, regardless of how nothing in this movie looks like it's taking place during late winter like Chinese New Year would be. I don't know.
It may not be Fantasia, but there's some cute dragons here.
And then the rest of the movie is just ●🗏 humping one of these Chinese dragons like a blow-up doll. Then they fly away to the shock and amazement of no one! How is no one seeing this? Meanwhile, it turns out that the gnomes have wound up in Nome, Alaska. I wish this movie had balls just so I could kick them repeatedly. And they get the idea to mail themselves to Bastion's house.
Come on, get inside. We'll change the label to Bastion's address when the coast is cleared.
Sure is a good thing that Bastion told us how mail works and where he lives just so we could do this if we needed to.
The Nasty could be at Wandering Mountain already. If it gets to the Empress, it's all over for Fantasia.
So what? If this happens to Fantasia and everything is lost, oh no, we can just wish it back into existence! Idiot! ●🗏 drops Bastion and Junior off at home so he can continue searching for the other Fantasians on his own.
Oh, why is it always me?
Because you're the only creature who can fly thousands of miles in no time at all, that is a stupid question. The next day, Bastion goes to school and leaves the Orin and the giant rock baby alone at his house. You don't leave babies alone! Especially not babies that weigh 4 tons and can smash everything in your house without even trying! And seriously? You're gonna leave the magic MacGuffin of unspeakable power alone where your bratty little sister can just casually grab it? Moron! Later at school, the Nasties frisk Bastion for the Orin. Wait, what are they doing here? Weren't they expelled?
Where'd you hide it?
I didn't hide it.
You want to make things a little harder on us? Okay. We're going to make things a lot harder for you. We'll just go check the book, find out where the necklace is, and when we get it, you can kiss your whole new little family goodbye.
Why aren't you checking the book constantly for whatever new details might come up? Why aren't you making up new details yourself? Since nothing else happens for the rest of the school day, I guess, we cut to Bastion coming home as that tree thing somehow delivers himself to Bastion's house. Seriously, did all of these creatures just have this special contingency set aside in case they ever found themselves in the human world? If they get lost, have themselves mailed to Bastion so we could take them home? What's going on here?
How'd you find me?
Let my branches do the walking. Good thing there's only 1 Bucks in the phone book, else I'd be walking all day.
1. The name Bucks is actually fairly common, with thousands of listings in whitepages.com. You're not going to find Bastion just by looking for Bucks. 2. How do you know what white pages are? Then, by the stupid dudiest of coincidences, the gnomes just happen to arrive as well. This movie really is determined to cram as much dumb into every minute as possible.
Bastion, there's a package here for you, and there seems to be something, I don't know how to say this, speaking inside.
This must be, the parrot I sent for.
The parrot that you sent for? What kind of talk is that?
No, it's pining.
It shouldn't be pining, it should be passed on. It should be bleeding demised. He asks his stepmom if she knows where Nicole is, and he has absolutely no reason to because he doesn't know that the Orin is missing, nor does he have any idea that she took it. She says that Nicole is at the mall, so he takes all of his friends out to maybe possibly get it back, despite not having any clue that Nicole's the one who has it.
Do you see what I see? Hey, that's it! If anybody says anything to you, just say trick or treat.
It's Halloween. Which makes for a very convenient cover for these strange fantastical creatures which you can just pass off as ordinary people wearing costumes. You were going to bring them to the mall with you, and you're only just now finding out that it's Halloween? You're gonna bring them out like it's any other day during any other time of the year? What is wrong with you?
It's just getting surreal with how stupid this is.
I just can't believe it. Bastion is supposed to be obsessed with all things fantasy. You cannot expect me to believe that he wouldn't be chomping at the bit for Halloween to arrive. we would have seen him making decorations, trying to show off his latest costume to Nicole, but we've seen nothing to indicate that this was taking place during the Halloween season. And what about the Fantasians? Shouldn't they have been excited for Halloween? Seems like it should be a major holiday for them, shouldn't it? The movie just suddenly pulling Halloween out of its ass to justify these monstrosities walking around in public without making a scene is... Ah! So they all go down to the mall, where Nicole is using the orange to wish for a bunch of new clothes.
I really wish I had this dress.
You look just stunning in that. Darling, it's yours.
Could you wrap it up in, like, big fluffy bows?
Oh gosh, I don't know. We're awfully busy.
Oh, I really wish you would.
Red or blue?
Wonderful. She's using the orange to make others bend to her will.
Oh, look, they're having a sale in the garden department.
Of course, he's not concerned with how his people are being sold into bondage. He's more interested in getting them for a bargain. Let my people go! Then again, 30% off ain't bad. Somehow the Nasties didn't know where Nicole is up until Bastion was kinda sorta on her trail, and the Empress is watching everything go down as well.
You know something? In all the time I've been Empress, it never occurred to me to go shopping with the Orin.
Why should it? You're an Empress. You have servants for that.
Shouldn't she be a little more concerned about the Orin being used for ill-gotten gains? Why is she impressed by this?
Because she's a woman, and she has to be in love with shopping.
She probably loves pink and is afraid of spiders, too.
It never occurred to me to go shopping with the Orin.
Well, that's because you serve a higher purpose, my Empress.
Oh.
Does she not know what she is or what she does? She's the Empress, she rules all of Fantasia, but she had to have that pointed out to her, and her only reaction is, oh. Speaking of, look at this. We see that Junior has found his way to the toy store, since a living pile of boulders would know what toys are, of course. But the movie couldn't even be bothered to find a real toy store in this mall, and instead just threw some Halloween decorations at a bookstore and didn't think we'd notice. And since books are here, so is Coriander, because he just exists wherever books are? I don't know, make up your own explanation. The movie's not going to tell us.
When are you going to return that book?
Why do you care? You're just going to let him steal it again anyway. But the Nasties find Nicole first and steal the Orin for themselves.
Where'd they go?
I don't know. They must have used the Orin to disappear.
What'll happen if you don't get the Orin back?
Don't you realize what you've caused? The entire civilization of Fantasia will go down the toilet. Maybe ours will go down with it. I really hope you enjoyed your little shopping spree.
Hey, who let this incredibly dangerous artifact lying around knowing full well what it could do?
Check it out, Wilma. I'm the new keeper of the book.
My name is not Wilma.
No, it's not. It's... I just don't believe it. How do these guys have such a stronger grasp on Fantasia in the book than Bastion that they know that the Empress will be watching them right now? And why did he call her Wilma? It's just so random, like if I called him Stevie Nicks.
Then Bastion has failed.
Shocker.
And the Fantasia that we know will be a thing of the past.
Well, that's what you get for laying all of your hopes on this one dumbass. Diversify. That's the lesson here, people.
I think you mean, don't put all your eggs in one bastion.
Then from out of nowhere, everyone starts going nuts.
Why are they all being so nasty?
How is it that your mind leaps to the word nasty, but you don't immediately think that the Nasties with a necklace that can grant wishes are somehow responsible? And what, they're making everyone else nasty, but not Bastion and Nicole? Why would they do that? They can't be ignoring them by accident, can they?
Yo, Chief, what about the luck dragon?
Yo, Chief, why aren't we more freaked out by this thing?
Looks like he's out of luck.
Were this a better movie, he would have said that right before going Old Yeller on Falcor.
Looks like he's out of luck.
Then their parents randomly show up as they too fall prey to the Nasty.
How many times do I have to tell you to let me know where you're going?
Marty, just give her a chance to explain.
Don't tell me what to do, Jane.
See? I knew this would happen!
You knew that your mousy mom's tasted men would eventually bite her in the ass? Who could have foreseen that?
Dad! The nasty is controlling you. Don't give in to the darkness.
I love how the music has no idea what to do here. It sounds like it's just shrugging its shoulders.
Don't give in to the darkness.
But oh no, the nasty has reached Fantasia. All the countless horrors that man has dreamed through the centuries. I can only imagine the unfathomable nightmares that are about to be unleashed.
Let me, you gloat don't beat.
But Empress, you said no cheap head jokes.
So sue me.
Or not, just turn the Empress into a bratty 4-year-old, that works too.
Nicole! Hey!
Let me go!
Your mom and my dad are at each other's throats.
And my voice isn't anywhere near my throat. Come on, that dubbing was terrible.
It's the nasty. We have to stop it.
You can't stop it. I tried. No matter what I did, it didn't stop.
You didn't do anything to stop the nasty, you only heard about it 5 seconds ago!
My parents used to fight all the time. First my dad would start yelling at me, and then they'd yell at each other. No matter what I did, it didn't stop. They still got divorced.
This is my story, and I'm not gonna let it happen.
For the love of... Will you shut up about this being your story? You sound like Titus from Final Fantasy X.
It's my story, and I say I return to Fantasia to escape the nasty!
Listen to my story.
I say this is my story.
This is my story. It'll go the way I want it.
This is my story, and I'm not gonna let it happen.
And didn't your mom say we were all part of the Neverending Story? It's not your story, it's everybody's story, you egotistical little twerp!
And she said it to him on her deathbed. You'd think that would resonate just a little bit more with him.
Dad! Are you okay?
What happened?
I thought you were electrocuted.
It's adorable that she had to say that that's what was supposed to happen, since the special effects couldn't convey that on their own.
It's a good thing she was a whole 2 feet behind him, or she might have been electrocuted as well.
I'm gonna help you get the Orin back.
Why should you help?
Why should you care? The world is falling apart. You need all the help you can get!
At least this way your mom will get her stupid sewing room back.
Oh, wait, never mind. I see it. This is just him being affected by the nasty. Pardon my confusion, but that's what happens when you spend 2 movies telling us our protagonist's an idiot.
He just said a minute ago that the nasty was making everybody crazy. He's gonna give in that quickly?
It's the nasty that's doing this. It's not you. You would never act this way.
Then again, you have been horrible to him since the moment you met him, so maybe this is just your chickens coming home to roost.
Don't you understand? You're too nice.
Oh, yeah.
On top of everything else, you gotta throw that at me.
Oh, will you shut up? Some of us like nice guys.
I'm sorry for all the mean things I ever said to you.
Oh, no, I get it. She was already so nasty from the beginning that the nasty is affecting her inversely.
I want you to be my brother.
What are we waiting for?
A resolution that makes sense. So, hooray, the nasty is easily and ridiculously pushed aside and they go off to do God knows what.
Bark Troll's branch pushes the dumpster aside, and then they step inside. The nasty's hideout.
He's not dictating to the book, he's just reading the script.
Oh my god, they've been the screenwriters this whole time!
Do not insult Jack Black. I have never seen anything that he's written, but I guarantee you it's better than this.
This is where we lost them.
They're not here now.
I were 6 feet taller. I'd pulverize you.
You hear that?
I did.
Yes, all the chaos going on, of course they'd hear 2 tiny voices from inside of a box and behind a concrete wall.
Balthazar. Looks like things are getting a little nasty over at the Buck's residence.
You made it that way!
No. You did! And you too! Don't go blaming it on me. I didn't put those words into your parents' mouths.
They said it themselves. Don't you care about anything?
Clearly he does. Did you not just see him getting excited over your parents fighting?
They said it themselves. You have to live in the human world after all this, too.
Does he? Considering what he already knows about wishing and the book and all that, it looks like he knows that he can just wish himself up a brand new world to live in. But then Bastion gets the Orin back.
I wish!
More than anything?
More than life?
More than the moon?
Big man, Balthazar. When you got the necklace. Put it down. Put it down. Then we'll see what a big man you are.
Here's a free tip for anyone who suddenly finds themselves in this situation where you're confronted by a bully, and in particular one who hasn't showed any kind of code of honor before now. You throw everything that you have at the guy, and keep throwing it until he stops moving. And all the while you're blocking out suggestions that you play fair. He has been doing so, why should you?
Bastion placed the necklace down.
Plot twist, she's one of the nasties too.
Plot twist nothing, she's always been nasty.
Yeah, this is just... I don't know what. Why is she using the book to make Bastion do anything, when all she needs to say is, and then the nasties stopped what they were doing for no reason?
Then, for no reason, he left Earth forever. The end.
Now I am leaving Earth for no reason!
Then went to practice all those years of karate lessons.
Nicole, what are you doing? I only took 2 lessons.
I'm sorry, that's what it says.
Wait, the book is writing its own story instead of you dictating the story to it? What, was the book responsible for the nasty? What's going on here?
Heck with what the book says.
I'm gonna kick this guy's ass with my 2 karate lessons despite the fact that the book already told me to do that. Wait, what?
All at once. It was as if Bastion was transformed into a deadly combination of Bruce Lee, Steven Seagal, and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Since, of course, this fantasy book knows who those people are. Seriously, it made so much more sense when it looked like the nasties were controlling the book by reading into it. If the book really is responsible for its own story, why couldn't it do something as simple as, before the nasties could do anything with the book, it vanished from their clutches and rematerialized back in the library, safe and sound? But yeah, Bastion somehow kicks Jack Black's ass.
Bastion blocks Slip's attack and counters with a karate chop, and then kicks him away.
And rather than it being an empowering moment as Bastion finally gets to be the hero, Nicole just reads everything that he does. Again, in present tense, that makes it sound more like she's reading the script than reading a work of prose like the Neverending Story is supposed to be. And since she's reading every move that Bastion makes, it makes him look like he has absolutely no agency, and he's just a karate puppet. Wonderful.
Bastion turns from Slip and performs a miraculous flying kick to dog.
Nice delivery, too. She really sells what an incredible moment this is.
Yeah, very good. You're back. What the hell are you gonna do?
Oh, I don't like this. I'm gonna fly away now and ask George to tell me about the rabbits again.
So the nasties run away in terror, despite never being afraid of this thing before now.
Back off, kid. She's not gonna kiss you. This isn't Flowers in the Attic.
Then the book tells them that their parents are about to leave each other.
No, Daddy, don't go!
I don't care what kind of daddy issues you got. He ain't your daddy. And why are they all still nasty anyway? I thought the nasties were defeated.
As quickly as the nasty was working its nasty mojo, it looks like it would be out just as quickly, right? Now that all the Fantasians are here, time to wish them home. Because they all needed to be within 5 feet for Bastion to do that. I hate you, stupid duty.
I'm gonna miss you, kid.
Bye-bye, Barky. I'll miss you. You too, Falcor.
Bye, Bastion.
I think I'll miss you least of... Nope. Don't care. I can't even muster up the energy to finish that joke.
All right. Everybody get in wish position.
Good luck, lad.
And apparently wish position does not involve them holding hands like what they were doing when they were brought here in the first place!
We wish that Fantasia would go back to the way it was before this nasty business started.
Wait a minute! You can make wishes? Bastion couldn't just wish for Fantasia to be exactly the way it was, but you can? Why?
Does he even have the Orin?
Yes, but that shouldn't matter, since the second movie told us that only Earthlings can wish with the Orin. This is bullshit! The old enough to vote now Empress says, you can't just wish them back into Fantasia because... reasons. But could they have wished themselves back into Fantasia this entire time? Why didn't they do that? Ugh, so Bastion and Nicole run home and stop their parents from breaking up.
Please, don't go, Dad! Don't go!
Nicole!
I'm home.
Are you okay?
Hi, Mom.
I'm suddenly over my mom's death, which was absolutely crippling to my emotional well-being.
I guess that one scene in the car really built some bridges, huh?
Don't worry, you look perfectly impressive.
And stop twirling with the kids. Looks like they're going to kiss passionately as they realize their true feelings for each other. Blech.
So everything goes back to normal, and the nasties turn into model students? Hi? Care to explain to us what the crap just happened? Did Bastion go mad with power again and use the orange to radically change these kids' personalities? Not cool, man!
You did that?
Yeah.
Brainwashing is totally cool, since this is my story.
The story's not over yet, young man.
Why not? Why do you insist on giving this idiot-turned-fascist the magical book that can destroy worlds if you read it the wrong way?
Yeah!
Because this was totally a high-five freeze-frame moment. Yeah!
Now this is my favorite part of the story.
Yep. The end. That's my favorite part, too. So, that was the Neverending Story 3, and it is by far the most never-ending of the entire bunch. I swear, this was one of the longest, most painful 87 minutes of my life. It was a concentrated effort to take everything great about the original and just crap all over it. The production values revel in their made-for-TV-ness. Bastion's an egotistical little dick cheese, constantly telling everyone that it's his story while doing absolutely nothing to move it forward. Nicole's a brat who actively wants us to hate her instead of sympathize with her. Barney Bucks falls into the idiot father trope because that's just what movie dads have to do regardless of what happened in previous movies. The rules that the stupid-like Empress imposes on Bastion's wishing are just infuriating. And Fantasia is in danger because some bullies are reading a book? Come on, movie! It would take a lot to retool this dumpster fire into something better, but I think I know how to do it. You take the nasty and turn it into a legitimate force, like the nothing or the emptiness, and you take Jack Black and make him into Bastion's friend. Like I suggested before, we established the nasty as a force that turns good characters bad, and in the world of Fantasia, that's not necessarily a bad thing, since it opens up new possibilities for stories. But if the nasty ever made it into the real world, that could actually do some real damage. Bastion gets himself a new family and moves to a new school, and that would suck for every other kid who actually has friends they'd be leaving behind, but Bastion was never exactly a social butterfly. Jack Black meets Bastion at school. It turns out that he and his friends are all Dungeons & Dragons players, and he invites Bastion to join their gang. Bastion finally has a group of friends, all of whom are into fantasy and imagination. He's hit the jackpot! He eventually tells Jack Black about this strange book that's a bridge to imagination itself, and Jack Black wishes that he had the ability to bring his fantasies to life like Bastion can. The nasty seeps its way into the real world and starts affecting Jack Black, and while it would just turn anyone else into a jerk, it latches onto this hardcore fantasy role player, and he goes into full-on supervillain mode, using the book and the orange to wreak all kinds of havoc on the world. Not only does Bastion have to save his world and Fantasia from all this chaos, but he also has to try to save his new best friend from the evil that's corrupting him. Whose imagination is the strongest? Who will win in the end? Of course, this is all just hypothetical and what-ifs. I don't know what the hell is that?
I don't want nothing bad happen to my mother!
You want to know something? Something bad already happened to your mother.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Hey guys, and welcome back to this next question of the review, where the question from the Neverending Story Part 2 is what, Raven?
What is the one wish you would make for someone else?
And mine, the first one, I guess, is mine. I said, well, mine is going to be rather self-serving. I wish Rob's full-time gig was Bobsheaux so that he was able to move to Oregon to live with me. That's the goal and the plan, but my wish would make that it would be my wish would be that it be true. That still doesn't make sense. I wrote that my wish would make it be true right now, which sounds weird to me right now, but basically, I don't want to wait. Cut to the chase. Already here. Already Bobsheaux the full-time gig.
And it is okay to be a little self-serving, especially since this would be a wish that would serve everybody. I'm there with you, I'm happy, I'm there with you, you're happy, and things would get a lot... things that would get done a lot faster. I can't speak either, so it's okay. So then you all benefit too.
Contagious. I said it's contagious.
It's contagious. Blah, blah, blah. Next, moving on.
Don't do that.
Let's see. My answer to this question was... I gave this movie a little bit of guff for making Bastian have a more difficult time grieving over the loss of his mother, simply because that's not what happens in stories like this. If a character's arc involves working past some kind of emotional pain, like what happened by the end of the first movie, that pain should no longer be an issue in the event that the story is revisited in a sequel. But the reality is that too many people don't make it past their pain as easy as that, and can end up worse for wear, like what happened with Bastian as it actually did happen. My wish is that everyone going through loss or enduring any other kind of mental or emotional anguish can come away from it better than they were first afflicted by it.
That's a very, very good thought.
So, yes, nothing against you, Bastian. Well, mostly. Just, you were...
Lots against you, Bastian.
You were written terribly. I can't hate you for still missing your mother, but... That's just not what happens in movies.
That's okay. There's plenty of other reasons to hate him.
There's plenty of other reasons. Ugh.
Anyway, moving on. Our friend ATM says, I would wish for YouTubers I'm a fan of, like Bobsheaux and Razorblade, hey DJ, to get as much success as possible. Yes.
Make it happen, people.
Success means he moves to Oregon. Yay!
Hey, we get 2 wishes in one with that. Evie Rawlings answers, I would wish for the ability to take care of my parents when they're older. My parents are my favorite people on the planet and my biggest role models. They have both sacrificed so much for me, and my sisters are always there and always there when I need them, and I wish for nothing more than to return the favor when the time comes. What I like about this answer in particular is that there's no reason why she can't take care of her parents when they're older. This seems like a very, very attainable wish. Make that happen, Evie. You can do it.
Now, technically, it was supposed to be a wish for somebody else, but since she was talking about her parents...
That's a somebody else wish.
Loophole, you know. Shy Cartoon Girl says, I would wish that my friends would have the life they dream about. I have 2 trans friends that want to be their true selves, friends that are needing financial support, and friends longing for a better work opportunity. I want them to have their happy endings. Yes, absolutely.
Better work opportunity is the thing right now, isn't it?
Everybody should be able to live as their true selves and have the money to support their true selves.
Indeed. Stardigian, or maybe it's Stargideon, I can't read good, says, mine would be simple, that all cancer in the world would be gone forever. Short, simple, and to the point. I know what it's like to lose family to it firsthand, so I'd make it that no one else has to suffer going through that. Amen, brother.
Yeah. Rob's father passed away from cancer as well, so.
Yes, colon cancer. Not fun.
Sorry for your loss.
Thank you. And sorry to everyone else who is suffering from that. Anyway, moving on.
Movie fan said, I would wish that my dad didn't have any heart attacks at all. That way he would still be here. And as the daughter of another dad that died from a heart attack, I understand completely.
Yes, bringing in movie fan, group hug.
Yeah, us and Stardigian and movie fan.
And everybody. And, of course, it wouldn't be a little bit of interaction on one of my videos without Sean Bateman chiming in, who answers, you're asking me, the gatekeeper of the Butterverse, this question. I am, of course, speaking in this voice because he has chosen to be my nemesis. And this is quite the villainous voice, I think.
Oh, yes.
Sigh. I wish that Bobsheaux had more fans to see him suffer through the Butterverse and enjoy good films like Bumblebee. But mostly the Butterverse. Who are you kidding?
Yeah, your people love to see you suffer.
Even when I'm talking about things like Bumblebee, I have to make sure that I suffer just a little bit. I recall memories of the past Transformers films, and it makes me wonder, why did it take so long to do this? Guys, come on! Good Transformers movie.
They're watching this discussion after you have suffered greatly in the review that precedes it.
Oh,
we
Lord.
both suffered.
Every 5 minutes into watching the Neverending Story 3, Raven's brain is banging on the inside of her skull. Let me out!
I'm sleepy. I need a nap.
I don't want to play anymore.
It took so long to take the notes for the Neverending Story 3.
So sorry for the delay, but this was a painful one.
You gotta psych yourself up. Okay, we'll watch a few more minutes of it.
We can do this. we got through where the dead go to die. We can take this.
Oh, I don't even know how long it took to get through that. Oh, that was freaking traumatic.
It didn't help that we had to take a long break from it midway through.
This was Oscar-worthy compared to that. I'd watched this thing 3 times before I'd ever watch anything from Jimmy Screamer Claus again.
And we're just silently waiting for his next project.
Not in anticipation, but in dread.
In dread, that is the thing, yes.
Anyway, okay. So, and I like that Sean Bateman's going by Seanatonin right now. That's pretty cool.
I don't know.
Serotonin?
I don't know what that means.
Like serotonin.
Yes, and I don't know what that is.
Oh, serotonin is the chemical in your brain that makes you happy.
Well, that's a bit of an oxymoron, ain't it?
Only because he doesn't make you happy. Might make lots of other people happy.
No, that's entirely the point. He wants me to die from a mental anguish.
No, he just wants you to suffer. If you died, then the fun would be over.
Yes, truly is the supervillain, isn't he?
Oh, yes.
If you kill him, he won't learn nothing.
Laughing Ghost Productions. Oh, gosh, this is Whiplash. Laughing Ghost Productions says, one of the greatest pains I've felt is feeling like nobody cares. If I had one wish, I'd wish for all the people who'd ever felt that same pain to know and be assured that, yes, someone cares and someone understands how they feel. And that's what we're hoping that we can help provide everybody here as being part of the Bobsheaux family, is because you should belong. You need to feel like you belong and like you're welcome and you're important.
And that is a very big wish. Everybody feels that from time to time. Some longer than others. So, for all of you, we're here for you.
As much as we can be.
As much as we can be.
And we're going to try to start being, more, getting back to doing live streams and stuff where everybody gets to chat and have fun. And
the streams are so much fun. I'm sorry I've been putting those off.
It's been a rough year. 2024 has sucked thus far.
We've all had our own individual struggles in this area or that. But, yes. We're going to get back into it because we all deserve to have that kind of fun.
Yes.
Let's see. Shampoo Hater says, I wish for all the artists and creators and writers to have more funding so that they continue making more art and stories.
Yes, down with AI! Absolutely. Fund the human artists.
And you even have to fund the terrible ones.
That's an AI. At least it's honest terrible.
That is a good way to put it. That is a very good way to put it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being that guy. But the next time that he has a Kickstarter, I'm going to have to toss a few dollars over at Daddy Derek.
I'm sorry. You'll cut that out, right?
Sure. Pardon my lady, she's very cutely allergic to bullshit.
That was a normal sneeze. A series of normal sneezes. A Pollen is bad over here.
I'm sorry, honey.
Whose turn is it? I sneezed my brain off.
It is you reading for...
Barnes
Yes.
says, I wish Bobsheaux was the one writing the scripts for these terrible movies. Now, I don't know if the wish was because of the movie Wish, which we have I haven't seen, and we have not reviewed, but it's probably coming eventually. I know that Razorblade DJ hated it from seeing what he said on Twitter about it. But if you have to think of it this way, if he was writing the scripts, if Bobsheaux was writing the scripts for these terrible movies, they wouldn't be terrible, and then we wouldn't have anything to do.
Yes.
And again, I don't have a lot to say about those.
Again, this is why we need to support the real artists, the human artists, even if they're terrible.
Right.
Except for Michael Bay, can we keep him out of the discussion?
He's not an artist.
Good answer. Let's see.
That ain't art, that's just a bunch of explosions.
Which he will be the first to tell you. That's how bad it is.
And skeevy actresses.
I'm getting you started. You think I'm shallow, don't you? No, I think you're a lot deeper than... I'm sorry, I can't do this. Can we give her some different dialogue? This is just too bizarre. No, she does want to be taken seriously as a deep emotional person. All right, take two. Anyway.
Not that she had a whole lot to work with in her co-star.
Okay, now you're getting me started. You knock it off.
Oh, what did you call him? Shia la dumbass?
I call him Shia la dipshit.
Shia la dipshit, yeah. Fitting, very fitting.
Thank you.
All right, carry on.
Darth Ingressus says, I would wish for everyone in the world to have the superpowers of their dreams.
That might come with some additional issues.
Yes, it would. Raven mentioned the movie Wish earlier. What I love is that as soon as the first trailer hit, nobody thought that it was fair to label the king as the villain of that story just because he had to withhold some people's wishes. Everyone knows that, no, not every wish can come true. Well, one, some wishes might counter someone else's wishes, and two, some people are just horrible.
Don't say too much.
Sorry.
You gotta review it.
I'll be getting into more detail later, but there are some people who would do a lot of good with superpowers. Other people, not so much.
Did you say that it was some sort of anniversary movie for Disney?
1924 was when Disney first got it started. This marks their 100th anniversary.
Oh, they fell off. They dropped the ball on this one.
They really, really did.
An AI movie as their 100th anniversary movie?
It's not confirmed. It can't be confirmed. I don't think they would honestly admit to that ever. But just the fact that everyone can pick up how much it sounds like an AI-generated thing. It's like, that is not good, people. This is not what Uncle Walt would have wanted.
No, Disney should be about the artist.
It's completely about the artist. It is all about making the finest product that you can make. Disney ran his artists ragged because he wanted nothing short of perfection. And this was just...
No one can say that Disney animation, especially classic, is not art.
No. They were the standard once.
Yeah.
And now they just are standard.
That is a shame.
At best.
that is a real shame.
Yes, it is.
All right. Nat Nerds says, I wish that all the world's leaders and political figures would think justly and rather than use their power for their own gain, actually lead like they should.
Very good wish.
Is truly fanciful and is never going to happen, but what a great sentiment.
And one thing to add to that, a little bit more wisdom, as well as the willingness to act justly. Because, again, what's best for a country, also kind of why you don't want everybody to have superpowers.
Okay, yeah, I give you that.
SPM Scout says, I would wish for my older sister Erin the best of luck with the twins she's going to have soon. 1, congratulations. 2, oh my god, twins! That is a lot of work ahead of her. And yes, all the best of luck to you, Erin's sister.
Yes, good luck, Erin.
Yes.
You're going to need it. A strange one says, I would wish for healing powers. I could just go around visiting hospitals and heal the sick, injured, and addicted. Yes, that is a wonderful thought. But let's not eliminate death.
It's
we all
horrible.
Have that expiration date.
Death kinda has to happen. Yeah.
It should be after a pain-free, disease-free life, and after you've, accomplished your goals and you're ready to move on, But at a certain age,
Yes, just ask Morla.
Morla?
The giant turtle thing from the first Neverending Story.
Oh God, yeah. You get that old, you're completely apathetic.
But then you'll die too. Die? That would be something.
But yes, let's eliminate all childhood disease and suffering, and definitely eliminate all addiction and
addiction. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Red Dragon M says, mine is a cure for a friend of mine for his clinical depression. Over the last 4 years, the world just took dumps on him. He's lost a lot. Jobs, friends, family, and it took a toll on him. He's not the person he once was. He's negative, self-doubting, and is miserable. He won't seek out help since he thinks it makes him look bad. It does not, friend, if you're listening. It won't. So there you go. Therapy saved me. I want my friend back, not whoever he is now. Yes, Red Dragon M's friend. People do care about you. And they just want you back.
Yes.
Just throwing that out there.
So, yeah, depression and anxiety, that's something I struggle with myself. And
we're getting better, one day at a time.
I hope things get better for your friend. That's a very good wish.
Absolutely.
Take the last bit.
And we are wrapping it up with ◞🐈 Dignity Thief. Weird name, and I love it. Their wish is, I'd wish for my grandma to have a rabbit farm, and the rabbits talk. She loves rabbits. So many deep wishes in here, so many very heavy wishes covering very personal matters.
Tugging on the heartstrings.
Very much so.
So we wanted to wrap it up with
talking rabbits, because why not? We have far too many talking monkeys in this world. We need more talking rabbits.
You're the reason there's talking monkeys. I'm convinced. Movies that never dreamed of putting a talking monkey in it. It's Bobshow's going to review it. Stick a talking monkey in there.
It's my version of the Neverending Story. Bastion reads from the book, and he can read people interacting to his reading somehow. The movie somehow knows that I'm watching it. We should put a talking monkey in it somewhere. And then poof, it magically happens.
The other side of Must Be a Bob Show.
Ta-da!
Tell me about the rabbits again.
Oh, there are so many aspects to Must Be a Bob Show now. Once upon a time, it was just the talking monkeys and the really inappropriate jokes in kids media. And now we've also got really, really bad wolf media that has no idea how to wolf.
And don't forget rabid fan bases. That's becoming a Must Be a Bob Show.
Oh boy.
Jesus, Pete.
Alpha and Omega, go Hugo go. It is attracting the craziest people.
Wolf. Yeah, but recently the Go Hugo Go guy, man, he kept posting Patreon exclusive content on his channel that he stole. putting it out in public, and when we would issue a copyright strike, Bobsheaux just doesn't want me to tell people that he's a terrible reviewer. Yeah, that's it. No, it's because it's stuff that's supposed to be behind a paywall, dude. You can't show that publicly.
He does have a point, though. I do hate it when people disagree with me, which is exactly why I invented the guest show video reviews, where people can openly disagree with me about anything that I'm talking about. I honestly hate it that much. That's why I give them that kind of opportunity to express themselves.
Speaking of guest show, we're not sure if there's still interest in guest showing. So if you think you might be interested in doing a guest show on something that Bobsheux's reviewed before, drop an email, leave a comment or something like that, and let's talk about it. We'll be talking about it in the live stream, the next Storytime live stream we do, which is coming soon.
Wonderful idea. Alright, so that wraps us up for this question of the review. And be sure to tune in next time when we will have more answers to answer there. That's redundant, and it's also very, very repetitive. And we will see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Subscribe, like, follow, comment, share, watch more.